Welcome, me monsterites. I can picture you now, standing out there with your scrolls and your swords. Today's question is, what is a kaiju? And you will find the definition to mean monster, but you will also find it to mean strange beast, and it has come to also mean giant monster or giant beast. Now, I'd like this clarified in the comments below. Nonetheless, the word has been around since the 4th century BC, where it first appeared in the classic of Mountains and Seas, which was a collection of classic Chinese bestiaries. The giant monster side of this term rose through film, first of which was Gojira, 1954, and so Godzilla was said to be the first of such kaijus. Now, Daikaiju means mighty kaiju, or basically a larger version of a monster or strange beast. So shouldn't Godzilla be regarded as a Daikaiju then? Some also consider this to be even more of an extreme, larger, more powerful version of a regular kaiju, which is already extreme in proportion. So let's allow ourselves now to stray a little deeper into the topic, off of what Wikipedia gives us, and ask the question, what exactly makes a kaiju? Are they just simply gigantic monsters? Shouldn't King Kong be considered one of them? Or do they have to be strange or unrecognizable giant monsters that may have some familiarities of the earthly creatures we know, such as the shark-looking kaiju, or the lobster or crab clawed kaiju? Therefore, King Kong wouldn't apply since it appears to be simply a large gorilla rather than a completely unknown or disfigured titanic creature. Also, to some it may depend on the variation of King Kong. As with Godzilla, King Kong has indeed varied in size among the different movies. Are kaijus of a specific race of creature that connect via hive mind as seen in Pacific Rim and are the product of a superior alien race? Or is kaiju just really the Japanese popularized term through the movie Gojira 1954 for giant monster, just as the Underworld movies popularized the term lichen, and therefore King Kong would be the first true kaiju in movie history. So is it just a giant monster, period? Funny enough, Wikipedia does have King Kong in their list of kaijus, but you know what? It's titled as King Kong Toho. This is the King Kong licensed by the Toho Japanese studio, which is the same studio that created Godzilla, or Gojira. Therefore, it seems if created by Toho, the Japanese studio, it becomes a kaiju. Otherwise, not. Now, if we had more lore to know that the Toho version has some significant differences, such as a connection to the aforementioned hive mind, then it could make sense. Though this Toho King Kong did in fact have the additional ability to harness electricity. So it isn't your traditional King Kong. Or maybe it's all just as simple as Toho having the right to deem a beast as being a kaiju, and so end of discussion as we have nothing further to discuss. It's all down to the studio's right and first claim to the ownership of this term that they first used in a movie. But again, maybe it's more. Maybe we can make it more. Us, the studios, us, the fans. Maybe it's just that. Maybe it's all the gigantic creatures in that universe, the Monsterverse, the universe of Godzilla. And once a gigantic weird creature partakes in that universe, then these beasties take upon the term of kaiju. Therefore, those lore writers of the Monsterverse run the kaiju show. And so it appears that it's just another one of those topics that was created during a film with no concrete roots or guidance, that later different media and productions complicated even more, having fans finding themselves in confusion of the ultimate answer. Just like the topic of canon, there is no true answer other than the one that the original creator of the somewhat altered term wants to provide. Therefore, if you want a true answer, ask the creators, such as Mr. Honda himself of the original Gojira film, where the term derived from. Or sit back and just watch how movie studios progress on the lore surrounding the term and updating what's canon. Or simply come to the terms that this is all science fiction, essentially fantasy in foundation, and don't fuss overly on the true meaning and categorization of kaiju, but rather enjoy the monsters, the films, and as the lore and story gets revealed. See if you like what the writers are saying, but don't fret, as the true canon ownership is either truly in their hands or lost as the lore passes through studios and from director and writer to director and writer. It's okay to accept and enjoy a beginning of a story or the first movie in a series, and not to agree or feel comfortable with the next ones. That's life as well. You may enjoy certain parts of your life and not care for the least bit for the other bits, and if it's really such a big deal, sit down and write a better version or make a better movie clip or just animated clip and put it on YouTube and get the recognition that you think your story or your mental creation deserves. But now let's get back to the fun of wasting time on these fantastical movie monsters. I think I'm most fond of the idea that kaiju simply represents a gigantic, unrecognizable, hence the word strange in the definition, creature that is dissimilar to any that we have recorded in our databases of the current and extinct animal kingdom of this planet. And these kaiju or kaiju species share the ecological similarity that these humongous beasts always tend to appear at the shoreline. And therefore the true source is still unclear. Maybe aliens or maybe some life-giving energetic void brought them to life, whatever the case is. So by this ideology, I could not know what King Kong is, considering we haven't seen where he first appeared. Whether he grew up on the island, or like the kaijus, he or his mother appeared at the shore at one time and gave birth to him, and he decided to stay on that island ever since. Also, looking at my preferred definition of kaiju, King Kong is just simply too similar to the animals such as apes and gorillas on this planet to be defined as a kaiju, appearing as just an enormous primate. Now what about Mothra? Wouldn't that just appear like a gigantic moth? Oh wait, but the talons. Plus it's not similar to any moth that we know of. But yeah, definitely those bird-like talons are clearly different than other insects on our planet. There's quite a span of comic shows and movies that cover the kaiju and mention them. Therefore, if you know of something relevant, some cryptic knowledge on this topic, do please enlighten us and do let us know your thoughts. Also, me Monsterites, do you think King Kong is a kaiju? Why? Or why not if he's not? Then what is he? And what is a kaiju then? Let me know what you guys think. And if we can accomplish anything here, I hope that someone that's Japanese, or at least proficient in the Japanese language, comments down below and lets us know exactly what the word kaiju translates to. And also, I'm not sure if you know, but there is a art Halloween contest in progress right now, so I do hope you join that, or at least check it out. It's got a $75 grand prize. And until next time, I'm Monster Master Arthur. Check us out, our group out on Facebook and Instagram for more monstrous fun. You've been watching just some more crazy monstrous talk, only here at World of Monsters.